Forget what you saw in movies. This is what really happens in the first 24 hours at military boot camp in the United States. Everything from sleep deprivation to losing your name. This is not just training, it's transformation, and we're going to dig in right now. I want to paint a picture for you real quick of exactly what it looked like from my memory that first 24 hours in the Marine Corps, and then we're going to dig into what all the different branches do and how they're different and what you can expect and what you need to be prepared for in that first 24 hours to week at boot camp. Now we're going to back it up to MEPS. So just like when you swore in the first place, you go to MEPS the night before, you stay there, there's all these rules, curfew, whatever, you wake up butt crack of dawn early and you catch a flight. You go in, you do your quick little initial screening, they hand you a ticket, they're like, go to the airport. You go to the airport, you catch your flight to wherever you're going to recruit training, unless you're close enough to get bused there, right? And that's gonna be different for everybody. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit. I distinctly remember I had a layover. There were 2 flights, so we get on the first flight, layover, second flight, and the whole time I'm alone. I don't really know anyone. I've got very minimal stuff with me because at the time you didn't take a cell phone. You just took your freaking social security card, your driver's license, your wallet, and jeans and a collared shirt with closed-toed shoes and normal underwear, and you were on your way. Now I'm sure that packing list might have changed a little bit over the years, but that's what it was for me. I was in a black polo, chilling. I'm all nervous. I'm not really talking to anyone because I'm off to boot camp. And what are you supposed to be excited? You're kind of terrified, right? I'm 18 years old. I have no idea what to expect. My whole life's about to change. And we get there. You get to the airport and you basically just sit and wait for a bus from receiving. So they pull you to a section over by the USO, and there's all these other recruits, and there's drill instructors in there, and they're basically just sit there, head down, and you're sitting Indian style with your head down until they basically come by and they tap you on the head and they're get in the bus, get in the bus, get in the bus, get in the bus, and you just go, and they're not being crazy with you yet, but it's about to happen. Right? If you've ever watched one of these clips of the yellow footprints, you know that all hell is about to break loose as soon as that bus pulls into San Diego or Paris Island, recruit depot. This is, again, I'm talking through my experience in the Marine Corps. And all of a sudden, a drill instructor gets on and he starts screaming instructions and you're grabbing all you're not making eye contact. And one of the very first things you learn is that you don't say I, you say this recruit, and you don't say your name, you say this recruit, and everything is yes, sir, and no, sir, and it's not sir, yes, sir, because that's what the Army does, and we just do yes, sir, and you don't say, sergeant, you say drill instructor, sergeant, so-and-so, and all these random things that you're supposed to remember at once, and then you're rushed off into the yellow footprints, and you stand there, position of attention, which is your feet at 45 degrees, your hands rolled up by your side, and you're standing there with all your crap, and you're freaking out, and you're on the yellow footprints as they yell at you about the, hey, welcome to recruit depot, blah, 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 these are your instructions. You're yes, sir, da, 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 yes, sir, blah, 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 no, sir, blah, 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 yes, sir, and you do all the you're standing on these footprints, and then they yell you into this room, and you scream, and you run into this room, and go into this room, and you empty all your shit out of your pockets and everywhere else, and you throw it on a table, and they come through, and they look through everything, right? And then they take all your stuff, and they lock it into this little money valuable bag. They throw it all in there, and now you got your little valuable bag or whatever, and then you take off all your clothes, and you run around, and they issue all your stuff. So right then and there, you're getting out of your clothes, you're getting into your first set of uniform, you're doing this, you're doing that. They're teaching you how to put your crap on. And so all of a sudden you're carrying 2 sea bags full of shit. So you got one across your back and one up here, or 2, or just 2, however they're making you carry it. And you're running around with your full stiff issue, your full supply issue of crap. Within that first 2 to 4 hours of getting to boot camp, you've filled out all your welcome paperwork. You've changed. You've gotten your head shaved if you're a dude, right? Just that quick barber, whatever. You've got all your supply issue for recruit training, all your camis, all your, your supply issue, all this crap in sea bags, and you're dragging it all over the place. You're doing all this stuff. You throw it in your squad bay, which is not your forever squad bay. It's a temp squad bay for the 2 to 3 nights that you're doing all this stuff. And it is 3 a.m. and you've been traveling all day, and you're exhausted, and you've been yelled at and stressed out, and you haven't eaten dinner, and you're tired, and you're hungry, and you're homesick and whatever, and you call home, and you got this super scripted phone call. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Now I'm going to read the script. You rush in, you pick up the phone, you call home, and they either answer or you get a voicemail, and that's it. You get one shot, boom, you make your phone call to let them know you made it to San Diego so that nobody's calling, freaking out. They haven't heard from their kid. And this is the call. This is the scripted call. You don't say anything else. There's a drill instructor breathing down your neck, and it's scripted. It's right in front of you. You just read it. It says, it's Dave or whatever, your name. And it says, I have arrived safely at Paris Island. Please do not send any food or bulky items. I will contact you in 7 to 10 business days via postcard and with my new mailing address. Thank you for your support. Goodbye for now. That's it. Awkward, unemotional, whatever. Your parents are probably on the other side. I think my parents let it go to voicemail so they could listen to it. I don't know. And that's the whole freaking thing. And now you're sitting in this area doing paperwork. And it's like 2, 3 in the morning. And you do all your paperwork. And that is where you start your thrift savings plan. So got videos on the TSP. If you want to know how to invest with your 401k, your thrift savings plan, go check those videos out and make sure you are aware of how to set that up prior to going to recruit training, because you're going to be doing it in this phase where you're exhausted. During this same 24 hours, you're also doing a urinalysis, which let me tell you is the most awkward thing you're ever going to do in your life, because they have to, like, if you're, I'm sure it's different with women, but as a guy, like, they have to watch the urine leave your body. And so you are like full pants down with like 10 recruits on urinals and a drill instructor on either side staring at your wiener as you're like trying to pee while you're nervous and you haven't really been hydrating. And like, I mean, I kid you not, I was what they call a shy gunner. Like, I went once, couldn't go, twice, couldn't go, 3 times, couldn't go. I was one of the last like 10 kids. And I got like the special treatment, which was where basically they're like, oh, you're obviously nervous around all these other kids. So it's just the drill instructor, like, just staring from the side at your while he screams at you about peeing in the bathroom. Because obviously when you're stressed out, getting screamed at by a grown-ass man staring at your while you're trying to pee is exactly what helps you get less nervous so that you can pee. But eventually I was able to make it happen. And then you go in the room and you fill out all this damn paperwork. And it's like where you start your life insurance and where you start your SGLI. And it's where you start your sign up for your GI benefits. And it's where you set up your TSP paperwork. And it's like all the admin that's important. And they walk you through step by step. And God forbid you mess up the paperwork and you have to do it all again. And you're exhausted. That's like the first 24 hours. And then we'll dig in a little bit more, but that's my recollection. So now we're going to go through the rest of this. So it is a common misconception that yellow footprints day, like the whole first day, is about physical training and push-ups and fitness and all this stuff. But really that receiving period is about all the administrative tasks, issuing you all the gear, make sure your family knows you're alive, haircut, getting all your clothes, getting your tennis shoes sized, getting your boots sized, getting your outfits sized, whatever. And then you even get your basic uniform items during that time period, during that week, not that first day. Getting your SGLI set up, your GI Bill set up, your TSP set up, your bank account set up for where your pay is going to go. Like, all of that stuff happens in that first 24 hours. And it's exhausting and it's stressful and you're losing, but it's not a physical day. Not really. You might move fast, but that's about it. It's a very emotionally stressful day that you need to be prepared for. Like, the real shock here is the mental disorientation and like the stripping away of your civilian identity. You're no longer Dave, you're Pere, and you're no longer me or I, you're this recruit. And you like have no freedoms, no rules, or all the rules, and like this whole new thing, which is just meant to tear you down. Every single branch sets their boot camp receiving period up for basically the same thing, which is essentially to disarm, disorient, and reset your brain so that you can kind of be at a blank slate background of like, holy before you move into boot camp. Now, this isn't cruelty, it's psychological conditioning. It's getting you in the right frame of mind as fast as humanly possible to get you to where you're like, oh my God, if this is normal, well, then everything else doesn't seem as bad. The goal isn't to break you, like I said. I joke about that, but it's not to break you, it's to break who you were. It's controlled chaos meant to forge unity, obedience, and resilience and help you succeed through recruit training. So day one is arguably one of the toughest days you're gonna ever have at recruit training or in your life. And it's not because of anything physical. It's because of the mental and the discomfort. It's the hardest because it erases comfort from your mind. You are discomfortable, you are disoriented, it's just not a fun day mentally. Here's the deal. You're not supposed to know everything that comes up. Like, even me telling you this, you're not going to know exactly what order, because I don't remember exactly what order, and you're not going to be able to find it. You're not going to know exactly what comes. And really, real strength isn't in knowing what's coming. It's in showing up regardless and just being there. And you're going to see even the biggest, toughest, meanest recruits at recruit training are going to be deer in the headlights at some point during this first few days with the did I get myself into? It's the reality, but you just have to be prepared for it. Now, look, if you're afraid of getting yelled at, don't be. It's going to happen. Everybody gets yelled at. It's not because you did anything wrong. It's because it's a freaking game at boot camp to just screw with everybody. There's reasons for that. And again, I cover that in another video, but like, it's okay. You're going to get yelled at, accept it. If you're terrified of failure, don't worry. You're going to fail. But you're also going to be in a ton of team environments where they won't let you fail, or all of you will fail. But at the end of the day, everybody makes it through recruit training as long as you do what you're supposed to do. And remind yourself as you're going through this that the sleep deprivation, the shouting, the chaos, the hunger, the thirst, the whatever, it's all temporary. What matters isn't how you feel about it in the moment, it's just how you respond. And the way you respond is just stoic and yes, sir. No, sir. This recruit does whatever, sir. Like, just don't let the emotions out. Just run with it. Because at the end of the day, this first couple of days is not about performance. They say you're being evaluated for all this stuff, but like really, they're going to slap you into a platoon based on your name. This is not about performance. It is about just basically the military saying, hey, dude, you're not in Kansas anymore. Welcome to boot camp. Like, it is a reset, and it's to get you through all the admin before you meet your drill instructors. And if you can get through every day by just realizing, hey, I got through that day, I can get through one more. I got through day 1, I can get through day 2. I got through day 5, I can get through day 6. Take boot camp one step at a time, one day at a time, and you will be fine. Look, if you're shipping out soon when you see this video, don't overthink it and don't stress yourself out. Just breathe, listen, show up, and do what you're told. You're going to be okay. Hey, drop a comment down below and let me know when you're going to boot camp if you're already preparing for it. And if you've been through boot camp and you watch this because you're just a sadist like me and you just like to joke about whatever the past was, comment what surprised you the most about specifically that receiving period, or give your best advice as far as like going to boot camp for some of these future service members and vets that are watching this video. Okay, now I'm going to look at my notes a little bit while I'm talking through this part, but I'm going to give you a brief overview of every single branch's, what their boot camp looks like, so you can just get a little bit better idea. But again, you can talk to your recruiter specifically about a lot of this, but just here we go. So for the Army, you're primarily going to go to Fort Moore, which is in Georgia, Fort Jackson in South Carolina, Fort Leonard Wood, which is in Missouri, or Fort Sill in Oklahoma. It's going to be 10 weeks long. And you're going to arrive immediately. You're going to introduce the high stress, very drill sergeant, like all the things that are very similar to like the Marine Corps. And day 1 through 7, you're going to do your fitness test, your physical fitness test, your initial training, your running, push-ups, sit-ups, whatever, introduction to Army values, learning to march in formation, your strict discipline schedules and customs, and you're going to do this whole shark attack thing, which is like a high intensity welcome where drill instructors yell and induce chaos that basically every branch goes through. And I'm actually going to read you the drill instructor creed from the Marine Corps here in a little bit, or the drill instructor pledge. Now for the Navy, you're going to go to Great Lakes, which is just north of Chicago. So if you can plan out when you go, I would say closer to like spring or fall or summer, not winter, because it's cold, but whatever. You're going to get your haircuts, medical exams, vaccines, uniform distribution, Navy issued gear. Recruits are kept awake for long hours, long sleep. Like, they begin to get into platoons, do your fitness tests, swim qualification, basic stuff. So that's a different one. In the first week, you'll do swim qual with the Navy. The Marine Corps, you don't do that for several weeks. Navy boot camp's 8 weeks. Air Force, 8.5. You're going to go to Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio. Same thing, airport. Issues of uniforms, equipment, whatever, your fitness tests, orientation, Air Force values. I mean, realistically, a lot of these are very much the same. You're seeing the pattern here. You're going to do your fitness tests. You're going to do all your vaccines. You're going to redo all your medical tests. You're going to do all your admin stuff. You're going to get put into a platoon by the end of that week. You're going to have to do your fitness test to make sure you pass and you can start training. And all of that basic pre-screening stuff goes into the first few days before you meet your actual drill instructors. Now for the Marine Corps, if you are west of the Mississippi River, you go to San Diego. And if you're east, you go to Parris Island, which, we have all these talks between the two, but it is what it is. Now, I kind of already covered this, but around day 3 is when you're going to meet your actual platoon and your permanent drill instructors in the Marine Corps' receiving process. And that's when you're going to just, begin the structured training, closer to drill, basic customs, physical fitness tests, training, hygiene, introduction to Marine Corps values, and all of that stuff. And you have to pass your IST to remain training. So if you fail the initial strength test for the Marine Corps, you'll be put in remedial, and then you'll go home if you can't fail at that time. Okay, and I am just going to read this, but this is what the drill instructors will after they shark attack, they destroy your house or whatever. When you meet your drill instructors, this is going to be the creed or the pledge that you hear as a recruit. And I'm not going to get incredibly intense with this because I'm not a drill instructor. I was a recruiter. I'm not going to pretend to be a drill instructor. And honestly, I don't want to take away their thunder because this speech is something that you will remember for the rest of your career, right? Sit up straight and look at me. My name is Gunnery Sergeant Perret, and I'm your senior drill instructor. I am assisted in my duties by Drill Instructor Sergeant Blank. Our mission is to train each one of you to become a United States Marine. A Marine is characterized as one who possesses the highest military virtues. He obeys orders, respects his seniors, and strives constantly to be the best in everything that he does. Discipline and spirit are the hallmarks of a Marine. Each of you can become a Marine if you develop discipline and spirit. We will give every effort to train you. Even after some of you have given up on yourselves, we will continue. Starting now, you will treat me and all the Marines with the highest level of respect, for we have earned our places as Marines, and we will accept nothing less than that from you. We will treat you as we do our fellow Marines with firmness, fairness, dignity, and compassion. Physical or verbal abuse by every Marine or recruit will not be tolerated. If anyone should abuse or mistreat you, I expect you to report incidents immediately to me or one of my drill instructors. Further, if you feel I have mistreated you, I expect you to report such incidents to your series commander, right? For me, that was actually Lieutenant Eckert or something like that. And then my company commander was actually a guy named Captain Craigholm, which is hilarious because he is now one of my best friends. He's retired. We're in the same mastermind together. Anyway, I digress. My drill instructors and I will be with you every day, everywhere you go. I have told you what my drill instructors and I will do. From you, we will demand the following. You will give 100% of yourself at all times. Obey all orders quickly, willingly, and without question. Treat all Marines and recruits with courtesy and respect. You will not physically abuse or verbally threaten any Marine or recruit. Be completely honest in everything you do. A Marine never lies or cheats. Respect the rights and properties of all others. A Marine never steals. You must work hard to strengthen your body. Be proud of yourself and the uniform you wear. And above all, never quit or give up. For we offer you the challenge of recruit training, the opportunity to earn the title United States Marine. The Coast Guard's 8 weeks and not much different than what I said about the others. Bottom line is this, some common themes, right? Shock and awe everybody that first week. In processing, all your admin stuff, all your fitness tests, everything else. Your physical training begins early. You're going to get used to that discipline and structure, and your emotional toll is going to be there. They are going to just shake up everything you know to reset your bedtime, your mentality, your whatever, your baseline, your threshold, blah, 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 to really just make this suck that first few days and reset your brain for what's coming. I did some digging and there's really not a huge disparity. It looks like every branch of service hovers around a 10% attrition rate, meaning people who didn't make it through recruit training. And as I was digging, it's basically injuries. And a lot of those people actually come back and go back through. Some people just quit, right? Some people just quit and some people have a legal issue. In fact, I would say probably half of that is legal issues or drug issues in the first week. And so they don't even make it into training. And then the rest is probably injuries, with a very small portion people who just refuse to train and they just quit on themselves. There wasn't a huge disparity in those numbers. I think it was anywhere from like 8 to 15%, but it was very much towards that 10 to 12% for the majority. And, you know, so I mean, realistically, like I said, as long as you are honest and you prep, you're not on drugs when you get there, you don't have like hidden legal stuff, and you don't quit on yourself, then really, as long as you don't get hurt, you're going to make it through boot camp. If you're in the process of joining the military and you're getting ready for boot camp and you want to see how I recommend you physically and mentally prepare for recruit training, click on this video because I just filmed this the other day and it is everything I wish I'd known about prepping for boot camp. It is how I would tell my own son to get ready if and when he chooses to join. Have a great day. If you got something out of this video, subscribe and comment what you got out of this video. We love you guys. Look forward to seeing you on more videos.